Pace-setting leadership is a management style where a leader sets the pace for their organization by leading by example and setting high standards for themselves and their team. Pace-setting leaders expect their team to meet or exceed those standards with minimal management. They value results above all else and are focused on doing things better, faster, and cheaper. These leaders may also prefer to be involved in most things so that they can control the pace of completion. As the name pace setting implies, these leaders set the pace for their team or organization by putting forward an approach that can be summarized by the phrase, "Do as I do now." This leadership style is results-focused, meaning that the leader expects that their team will meet their high expectations and all stated deadlines. Team member motivation and a drive for excellence are a must for this leadership style to be effective, because only the best will do for these leaders. Military leaders often use the pace-setting leadership style. In the military, all soldiers and personnel, regardless of rank, are expected to uphold the highest standards at all times. Leaders clearly set a goal and implement strict project completion schedules. If lower-ranked members do not follow these schedules and achieve specific goals, they may face criticism. Their leaders are also subject to the same consequences, though, because the person who sits above them also has high standards and expects them to lead by example. Pace-setting leadership is also commonly used in the military because members are expected to perform well without external motivation, meaning they should do their jobs because they want to serve the organization's higher purpose. In order for pace-setting leaders to be effective, there are 4 necessary characteristics. The first is having self-motivation that comes from within. They cannot be motivated by money, fame, or other external factors. These leaders must have a deep desire to succeed and set high standards for themselves to achieve that success. Next, it's important that these leaders are able to communicate clearly so that their requirements and expectations can be understood by team members. They establish precise requirements and guidelines from the start, expecting their employees to either ask questions if they do not understand or execute their responsibilities according to previously stated guidelines. These leaders must be able to take initiative, not waiting for someone to ask them to do something, but instead knowing what needs to be done and doing it. Lastly, these leaders need to have the ability to not follow in others' footsteps, but instead be trend setters. These leaders set the pace for the entire team and show them what they want to see. In order for this method to be employed, there are a few assumptions that must be met to ensure success. First, each member of the team must already know how to do their job independently. Next, the leader must know that they will not need to micromanage and monitor their employees constantly. Lastly, it must be established that goals will be met at a fast pace and the end result will always be prioritized over all else. A pace-setting leadership style can be appropriate with the right team or in the right circumstances. The first advantage of this leadership style is that it allows teams to achieve business goals quickly. When you have time-sensitive, short-term goals as an organization, pace-setting leadership can get the job done. Focusing on high-quality output and the highest expectations, this style can create the necessary pressure to achieve goals on time and with maximum efficiency without reducing the expectation of quality. This leadership style can also inspire team members to achieve peak performance, with a highly energetic and motivated leader helping team members see what they're truly capable of when they push themselves. Putting their skills to the test can help boost confidence in their own abilities as well as the respect of their coworkers who are also working their hardest. Despite the advantages, there are also some disadvantages associated with this leadership style. While following a pace-setting leader can be initially inspiring, the high-pressure environment that it creates can lead to employees feeling unmotivated and overworked. Continuously striving for excellence and improvement without proper time to learn and absorb new skills can be extremely stressful, and if one or more team members are unable to keep up with the demands, the end result could be jeopardized. This leadership style can also result in severe negative impacts on the work climate if used long-term, as the rate of output and quality demanded is not sustainable over extended periods of time. Lastly, this leadership style can result in a loss of trust in the workplace. Team members could feel like they can't ask questions as they are expected to already have the knowledge they need for the job at hand. A pace-setting leader will often take over a task themselves if it's not being done quickly enough. Because of this, the exact work expectations might not always be clear, and there is no time to elaborate. This can make it very hard for employees to see how their work fits into the big picture. Pace-setting leadership is extremely useful when there is a project that must be completed quickly. It works well if you have a small, well-trained team that is able to work independently. For this reason, I think that this leadership style could work temporarily in a fast-paced IT field. I think that this leadership strategy could be employed on specific project teams that are already working on a strict deadline. Overall, however, I think that this leadership style could be very damaging to the level of creativity and innovation that is necessary to stay ahead of ever-changing trends in the IT environment. I do not think that the kind of time pressure that this leadership style creates would allow for the trial and error nature of project innovation required in IT. That's all I have for today. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Thank you.